Hello, I'm Danilo, co-founder and ecosystem lead of Kakarot. And today, I'm going to share a little bit about what we have been up to since last July, which was our last presentation, all the way to how we are planning to achieve Testnet and Mainnet. I actually didn't expect that there would be so many new people. I thought I was be talking with the people that I used to be talking, so the intro about Kakarot will be pretty short, but basically, Kakarot is an EVM written in Cairo, which makes it provable, and and Kakarot can be either deployed on Starknet L2, which will allow to have, which allows Starknet to have EVM contracts interact with Cairo contracts, or it can be deployed as an L2 using Madara, or an L3 using Madara, or other sequencers. So that's an brief overview of what Kakarot is. And today I will share a little bit about what we've been doing and some of our work with whitelisted testnet. We have some contributors, some developers that have been testing Kakarot in the last month. We're going to also share about some of the EVM toolings we are integrated, because this is one of the main goals with Kakarot, is that we want to be able to integrate with the Ethereum ecosystem without much extra work, because there are so many toolings being developed. The community is amazing, so we want to be able to integrate with all of that. And besides, we also talk about a little bit about the Cairo migration and some optimizations that we are doing. A lot of the findings done by Eni, who is here with us. And also how we are testing our current EVM using Ethereum foundations and Hive testing. And then, of course, we'll share a little bit what's the next step for Testnet and Mainnet. So what's the current whitelisted testnet? So basically, we have a small group of pre-alpha testers that actually started in July during the Stark Hackathon in Paris. And since then, we've been testing Kakarot, deploying all different contracts, different projects, finding bugs, solving them, and also trying out things that we weren't able to try before our RPC was ready. Because basically what allows us to connect with all the EVM toolings is the RPC itself. Even though if you have the EVM, if you don't have the RPC, we still cannot integrate, but now we can. Some of the toolings that we have already integrated with, so MetaMask, Remix, Foundry, Ether.js, they work out of the box. So if you run a Kakarot node locally, or when we have a testnet, a public testnet, you can just use the RPC as any other EVM, and you'll be able to play around with Kakarot. Some of the other toolings that we are currently working on integrating is Hardhat, Veeam, Trufflebox, WAGMI, and many others, as during this week, there were so many toolings that came out. So looking forward to being able to use all the Ethereum toolings out of the box. Some of the optimizations, we started migrating around 3 weeks ago. And we have done a lot of experiments and optimizations. You can find a lot of reports, we could say, or writings of what we found on our GitHub. Some people are already implementing what was found here on their own projects. Some things are relevant, something not, but definitely everything that we find in terms of optimizing Cairo code will be shared here. Just some of the things that was experimented. So structs, one of the things that it was not possible on Cairo 0 compared to Cairo 1 is that when you want to copy a struct, you need to copy all the data into the memory. And so every time you change one data point of the struct, you need to recopy the entire struct. But right now with Sierra, this change is being optimized. So if you do more than one change, now you don't need to copy everything twice. And so you can do consequent changes, and Sierra will optimize to change everything only once. Always use inline. It makes your code bigger, but it makes it a lot cheaper in terms of gas. In terms of loop versus recursion, but there were basically not like because there was no loop before, but loop basically compiles to recursion format, and there is no much difference. But everything that I mentioned can be found on our repo. Yeah, and thanks a lot to Annie once again that he's been the main Kakarot core team member that have been driving all these findings. So a little bit about the Hive and EF EVM testing. After we started some testing, we realized that, oh, we really need to stress test. This is really important, of course, before releasing anything. So we started to integrate, and actually it will be the first time that StarkNet ecosystem is being integrated with all the tests done by the Ethereum Foundation team. And we believe that once all these tests are solved, we might have a pretty robust node. These tests were made to try out and test different node implementations. And in our case, we are using to test out the Kakarot itself. So when should we expect Testnet and Mainnet? So for Testnet, we expect to be releasing this quarter. So hopefully by the end of October. And for public mainnet on Q3 or Q2 or Q3 of 2024, hopefully, because you never know what might happen. But these are, I think, really exciting as we are moving very fast. Our team is growing. And yeah, hopefully, like soon we can all share links with you guys on RPC node that you'll be able to just interact. And the crazy thing is that you're literally interacting with a StarkNet sequencer using all the EVM tooling. So when you're sending a transaction from MetaMask, you're actually sending a transaction to StarkNet. When you're deploying a contract with Ethers or Foundry, you're actually deploying a contract on StarkNet. Because right now, Kakarot is as its own, it's just a smart contract on StarkNet. So technically, it would be possible to even transform all these toolings to integrate with normal StarkNet contracts, but that would be some extra work. And yeah, so you can find us on X, not Twitter anymore. When I was writing this, I was, okay, now it's X. You can find us on X, on Telegram, or you can check out our website. We are also, forgot to mention, during our migration, we are also preparing a lot of opcodes so that anyone who wants to learn about Cairo or EVM are more than welcome. One super interesting use case, which is with Sam with the Node Guardians team, they released a EVM challenge where the first people to integrate to finalize the challenge was shared on a group, and then Sam said, oh, if you guys want to also try out implementing the opcodes in Kakarot, you're more than welcome. In less than 2 days, we had more than 10 PRs. And I just think this is fascinating. So we want to really push, and we want to really prepare issues and things from our code base so that anyone can just come and interact. We are fully open source. If you want to learn both Cairo or about EVM, you're more than welcome. Make questions. Go there. There's really good first issues where you need only 5 lines of code to really implement it. And yeah. So I think it's until here.